Hi and welcome back to the second part of the tutorial where I'm showing you how to create an illustration, a flat illustration of a Mona Lisa taking a break. We saw the first part some days ago, and well, now I'll keep going so we can complete it. Let's go with it. It's always better to get closer. So let's go. I'm gonna do it like this, clicking shift. Okay, now I'm going to come something like this. I will have to tweak it for sure because you know, noses are not a thing that usually come right after the first time. It may just be that your drawing looks a bit weird at the beginning. Opa! But I'm gonna compare it to the other one I created before with more time and more relaxed. Yeah, of course, again, as you can see here, there's this angled shape in there that I want to make softer. Same for all those that allow me to do so. Something like this, and I think it doesn't look bad. I think it looks quite okay. Now I need to create the other eyebrow. So I come here and I did the same as I did before. It's easier to control your notes if you work this method instead of just going over. Instead of just going and say like this, maybe, I mean, I don't care one or the other, but if you're starting, probably this is easier for you. So that's the way I do it for beginners, and both ways lead to Rome, let's say. Okay, now we're gonna create the eyes. So for that, let me see, yeah, the segment tool, for example. So the little eyes. Well, first off, I don't need the stroke here. I want this to be black. I'm gonna move it like so. As you can see, if I click here, it won't show the bounding box as I move it around, as you can see. Tiki tiki. If I don't have it selected, as I move the bounding box, it's visible. Sometimes it's a pain to have the bounding box visible, so I use it. I use that option. So now we have it like this, like this. I'm not sure if it's gonna look a little bit, I don't know if it's sleepy or doped or something. We will see. We will see. It's important to just remove the background every now and then to see. No, it doesn't look bad, I think. Let me see here. No, yeah, kind of like it. I'm not sure now if to put these little two circles there. Anyways, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna use it for my mouth. Ooh, she's too happy. And the Mona Lisa, you know, she's got a mysterious smile, kind of like. So let's just make it more mysterious. And the mouth not so big. It's not good to have a big mouth. Yeah, maybe thicker lips. Maybe. I put some kind of lips in there, and I also put the red cheeks with which makes the Mona Lisa look cuter. So let's do that. Click and P. This is gonna be too much, so I'm gonna make it really thin. I'm gonna get rid of the fill, and now I go like this. I go like, no, I go like, how do I go? Now let's do something like this and then tweak it. So like this. Now I have to put some color in it, like this. This is a no. Okay. Let's move it like this. Let's put this one on top. maybe it's a little bit too red, so what I'm going to do is just put the color down to 60%, something like that. Now I'm going to create the color on the cheeks. So I take the circle, I click shift, do something like this, come to effects, give it a bit of a Gaussian blur, so like this. Again, click in here, so opa, so I don't see the bounding box as I move it, and I put it here. Maybe the opacity is to 100%, maybe I give it an 80, so it's lighter. Yeah, I like it better. And see, now I have it selected, but because I have this clicked, I don't get to see it, but I have it selected. Okay, that's a bit confusing, really. Let me see. Bing, bang, bing, bing. Why don't I see it? Yeah, that's the reason. Quite confusing, because this is supposed to work in a way that when you move it around, you don't see the bounding box. But when you're like there, you should be clicking and seeing it. And of course, yeah, I'm clicking it, but I don't get to see it. And I don't really like that behavior. It's more about high selection while dragging. I'm not dragging now and it's hidden. If I just remove that, it's back to visibility. Anyways, to the point. Let's create this little whatever the name is for that thing she's got in the ribbon in the forehead. I made it in such a way that it goes along very nicely with the circle that is around. So probably what I want to do better is to finish with the shadows and then go for the circle, and at the end I will create this and also this little line in there. Also the coloring here, I created a gradient, so let's go and create that. By the way, this color is a bit too dark, so I'm going to come to color, make it a bit lighter like that. Let's create the shadows, which is interesting to mention how to do this. We've done it in other exercises. So I duplicate my face, I get rid of the stroke, out with it, I copy paste. Now we have, see, two of them here. This is the original one, this is the one that we're using for the illustration. So now we have two of them, and what I'm going to do is move some pixels to the left. I select both of them, and while clicking Alt, I'm going to go to geometry or operations, call it whatever, and subtract. So I click in there and I have a compound shape with my two shapes I had before. If you want to see, if you're new and you don't know what this is all about, this is called operations, and just I have some tutorials on this, so go and check them too. So I come here and I want to make this color a bit darker. So because this is the shadow, I'm gonna go like this more or less. Let's see if I like it. Even a bit more. Okay, now I came to layers and I'm going to mask this inside the face. And here we go. Maybe it's a bit too much, so I'm gonna give it a 50% color. No, I'm not super happy with it. Let's go back to 100%. I think I don't like the color itself. It's a bit yeah, it's a bit yellow, so let's go a little bit more to this side. Yeah, I like that better. And let's make it a little bit more like something like this. I think it works better. So we have our shadow. Next one is gonna be a little shadow we have in here, and we do the same procedure. So we have it here, get rid of the stroke. I'm gonna also get rid of this because I don't need it anymore. Duplicate it, move it clicking shift to the right, something like this. Now I select both of them, click Alt, go to subtract, and I have my new little shadow, which by the way I want to have the color of this. So I copy the attributes, I paste the attributes, and now I mask it inside the face as I did with the other shadow. And here we go, we have it. Now we're gonna do the same for this neck area. By the way, I forgot to make this softer, so there I go, nicer like that. Yep. And this is 7. I think this should be also 7. Yeah, and maybe these ones need to be a bit thicker. Something like this. Okay. And I will make this one overall a bit thicker too. Okay, the tweaks are up to you, just, you know, to make it look better. Don't want to be here all day to show these little tweaks that take a little bit longer just to decide. So as I was saying, we have this, we have to do this shadow here. Okay, ping pong. Oh, get rid of the stroke in both of them. No stroke. Let's just move it a bit like that. So now click Alt, go to geometry, subtract. Let's copy the color of this shadow so it's all consistent. Now we place it here, and there we go. Now I'm gonna move it a bit so it's better positioned, something like that. Yeah, that's it, that's good. And now we're gonna do the same for the hands. This is going well. Now I'm going to add a gradient to this in such a way that the head area, it's a bit darker, which is what I want, so it looks more like hair. Yeah, okay. Now we're going to create the background. We take the circle tool, we create this, more or less it's the same size. We create this circle. Now we give it the color we want. Let's do it thicker like this. Now we're gonna place it, Command X, come down to the layers panel and place it behind the body. That's it. Now we need to give it a different color, obviously. In this case, what I've done, I'm gonna show you here, is I created, where are you? I created a shape for this and a background for the circle. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here too. So now, well, this is not going to be really seen. This, remember, you cannot tweak, okay? Those are baked corners, so you're not going to be able. I don't need to touch that because that is going to be included in the clipping mask I'm going to create now. I don't really like these things, so what I'm going to do is convert it and now tweak it, because before I couldn't. So I repeat the action. When you see these little circles, you cannot use the corner tool. You can only use them in sharp nodes. So again, I come here, select the node tool, and I convert it to sharp like that. Now you can use the corner tool. Okay, just just so you know that they can be tweaked, but you need to do a few extra steps. Let's leave it like that for now. Now I Command X, come down to the circle where I saw it. It's here, click, and now I put it there as a clipping mask. I tweak a bit more the colors so it looks better, something like this. Good. And now we're going to create no, the circle is a bit too big, so I'm gonna make it smaller, and I'm gonna make it the stroke a bit thinner, thinner. Yeah, something like that. I just want this ribbon thing to go along with it. It gives me just the feeling of, you know, continuity or something. So let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Whack. That's too much. And now we're gonna tweak it like so. Yeah, it works. Good. We also need this little line in there, which is the hair, and you know, letting the scalp be visible. Let's just copy the color of the skin. That's too much, so we're going to make it a bit thinner, like so. And now we Command X, look for the shape, paste it, and clip mask it. Okay, so also let's just give it a 60% transparency, so it looks better, even a bit less, 40%, otherwise it's too much. I think this one is too much. Good. And now the next thing is going to be creating the cigarette and the smoke. So now also first I would like to make this a bit thinner because I think it's too much. Maybe this one a bit thicker, just slightly thicker, something like this. Yep. So let's create the cigarette and the smoke. Click P, come here, and let's create a cigarette like this. Let's make the stroke much thinner. Let's make it the same color. Well, it's just can do it different ways. Let's create the stroke. Let's give it a fill color. I would like it to be seen like in here, so it's more interesting for me to have the cigarette pointing somewhere else, because otherwise, you know, these little details, like, you know, it's nice to have the details like this. If I'm going to put now the ashes, the tip of the cigarette, and it's gonna be over these lines are not gonna be visible, so it wouldn't be the same. Now I'm losing this effect I wanted of continuity here, but I'm gonna move the hand too. I'm gonna move this. This looks better. Something like this. Let's make it more of a cigarette than something else, because it looks a bit like she's chilling a bit too much. And now we're going to just the stroke, big zoom, come here, tick tick. Oh, not to have this problem, just come here and select this line mode, so you don't have to double click every time you finish a line. It's just gonna make it for you automatically, which is nice. Oh. Something like this, something like this. Good. Now we're going to create the smoke. I created this one using the crescent tool, but I don't really like it very much, so I'm gonna use the pen tool, which I think is more appropriated. I'm gonna select the mode smart, and I'm gonna come like this, I'm gonna come like this, I'm gonna come like this, like this, like this, like this, this and that. Okay, I'm gonna give it a color white, and I'm gonna make it 50%, 40% transparency. Of course, I could tweak it much more to make it look better, but you know, as I always say, up to you to just investigate better shapes and things like this. I think this is a bit thick, so I would probably touch here, touch there, you know, give it a little bit more of rhythm, but basically that would be it. And with this, I group them, move it here, copy paste the text, and we're basically done. we have a reproduction, and I hope you learned a lot with this tutorial, little insights on how to proceed, why I do this or not that, things like that. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you can support me. Thank you to all the people that is already doing it. And if you don't like whatever the thing it is, just leave your comments as well, so that helps everybody else and helps me to just get better. That's it for now. Hope you liked all these insights, and see you soon for another tutorial. Bye bye.